Hey YouTube, it's Fussy again. Just wanted to come back with one quick video to re-upload from yesterday. I don't know what happened with my video yesterday, but for some reason the recordings that I'm getting right now are pretty damn dark. Even this one seems a little darker to me than usual, but if anyone else has some insight on that, I'd love to hear it. You can drop me a DM. Always open to hearing any suggestions. So anyways, the reason for the video is I wanted to share with you guys a build that I've been working on, and that is my Creeping Frost Trickster. I call him the Creeping Frost Machine Gunner. He's pretty fucking fun and fast. And the whole idea started because I wanted to build my Creeping Frost Hyro, but I needed an Ashes of the Stars. It's around 35 div for a decent roll right now. But I also just really wanted out of my League starter. I was rocking a Spellslinger Sabo with trigger bots, and he was fun for a time, but obviously, you know, as all League starters go, you get over them after a couple of weeks and you just need out. So I decided to respec into Creeping Frost early, and I did it on this Trickster, and the idea was that I would make a nice smooth mapper. It's capable of clearing all content, including all bosses, Ubers excluded, with only the gear in my stash. And so I didn't have many of the goodies. I didn't have like, you know, Diala's Woke Spell Echo and Ashes and Awakened Empower and all of those big things. But I decided I just wanted to play it anyways. And Creeping Frost is really just a nice skill, guys. In my opinion, it's probably one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated skill in the game right now, as far as just both from a quality of life and from a damage dealing perspective. You can run this skill as a League starter, as a cold dot skill. It's fantastic in cold dot. You can also run it as a shotgunning League starter, as I'm starting to realize now with the Trickster. I'm thinking that Trickster, even without all of my gear, would feel very satisfying in a League starter with Creeping Frost. I just would have to obviously work on the POB, but I honestly think that at a very, very low budget, I could still make this guy feel pretty decent. Maybe he's not going to be pushing your big bosses until he gets a few upgrades, but he would definitely be feeling good enough to go and blast maps with. And if that wasn't your cup of tea, just go cold dot with him and it would be fantastic. And then you are killing bosses, albeit a bit slowly, of course. Now, the thing about Creeping Frost that I love too is that it's one of the few abilities in the game that still allows true shotgunning, and you do so at a really low investment. You need just additional proj. That's all you need. So you use greater volley, and we use pinpoint in the build to achieve this. Pinpoint is giving us 3 additional proj. It also gives us 20% more damage per intensity stack, and the intensity stacks gain up to 3, so that's 60% more damage, but we have 6 proj, so that's 360% more damage that is coming from one single support gem. And then our greater volley we use in it instead of GMP. And the reason for this, I know GMP gives us 1 additional proj, but GMP makes it so that we have to stand right on top of our target to get our max damage. Whereas with Greater Volley, I have found that I'm able to stand virtually anywhere on the screen and get those overlaps happening at all times. So it's just much more consistent, and I found that even for the clearing, it's been much better for clear as well. So I like to use Greater Volley, but you can do some testing on your own to see which one you like more. My money is on that you're gonna like Greater Volley more though. As far as the rest of our damage, we keep our intensity stacks up using Apex mode, and Apex mode is a jewel that you can get. It's pretty cheap. I think they're like 5C, but you can get corruptions for pretty cheap too. I grabbed my Corrupted Blood Immunity Apex mode for 30C. So I believe as long as, you know, this build doesn't get all crazy big and popular from this big YouTuber here, yeah, it should be pretty cheap for you guys. You can go ahead and get that and, you know, get yourself some easy CB immunity. And what it allows you to do is the Apex mode jewel, it keeps gaining your intensity stacks every half second as long as you have gained intensity recently. Now, you gain intensity by simply casting your main ability, Creeping Frost. For every single cast that you give, you are gaining 1 stack. When you move or when you use a mobility skill, you will lose those intensity stacks, and you lose them very, very quickly. So gaining them back is very inconsistent for your damage, especially in single target situations. So it just kind of sucks. So you use Apex mode, which is going to make sure that those intensity stacks stay topped up, even when you're moving around, even when you're using your mobility skills. The second you go to fire off your ability again, it's right back up to max stacks after just 1 cast, instead of having to wait that 3 additional casts. So it's really, really nice. And then lastly, we maintain int as our highest attribute to gain profane ground on crit from our rational doctrine. And this gives us an increased chance to crit our enemies and lowers their resistance by 10%. Now, as for the defenses, we achieve full Ellie ailment immunity through our shield, our boots, and thick skin wheel on the tree. We're not permanent on our flask, but we're near permanent. We're very, very high on the flask uptime through use of the Trader Keystone and Alchemist Genius. And we have 100% stun avoidance through our Flask mod, Brutal Restraint mod on Quickstep and Survivalist. And we have near perma uptime on phasing, again through our Quartz Flask. We use EB Mom with Trickster, ES Overleech as well. So there's a lot of leech. Basically, like every cast is your entire pool, health pool filled up. It's quite nice. We have Ghost Dance, we have 10% instant leech through the Mastery Wheel, plus Doriani's Lesson, and Vitality Life Gain on hit Watcher's Eye, 100% spell suppression, 72% chance to evade with 23% chance to block attacks, and 90% movement speed with Onslaught, and our action speed cannot be lowered from 108%. So basically, all of this just combines for an incredibly smooth blaster, guys. As I was stating before, anything outside of a big boss one-shot, I think you'll see one here in just a second, but basically like the big hits from a boss, those can still pose a problem for you. So big juiced attacks and things like that on, you know, Alked or Vald maps or Alked or Vald boss invitations, those will still kill you if you get hit by them. Try not to get hit by them. Anything that cannot clear your entire health pool in one hit will never kill you on this build. And you'll actually see it here if I had the footage of Veritania show up here. If not, I'll upload it. But essentially, we did a Veritania fight. I think it was earlier in this video though, but basically in that fight, you can see at the very end of the Veritania fight, she's firing her Icicle Blast at us, and we're firing at her, and the Icicle Blasts are hitting us, but they're not killing us. And I've made plenty of builds before where I'm trying to leech through those things, and they just wreck my shit. So I know that the recovery is just incredibly strong on Trickster, but I had no idea it was this strong. So definitely take advantage of the Trickster Overleech as well. If you guys aren't right now, take advantage of that shit while it lasts, because I have a feeling it's going to get nerfed sometime in the future. Anyways, the POB can be found below, guys. If you'd like to give it a try, definitely go ahead and load that shit up. It is a lot of fun. The cost for the build, including the gems, would probably sit you around 30 to 35 divines. If you have to buy all your crafted gear rather than craft it yourself, maybe a little more money, because again, crafts can be pretty expensive. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more content. And until next time, peace out.